What we're going to do today is a little bit unique, I hope. I hope you find it to be unique. We're going to go through several different concepts, and then we're going to do some hands-on exercise. So let me give you a little bit of background and some history that I think is really important, and that is that there's two things that I do not place implants without. Number one, cone beam CT, and number two, an Osstell device to measure ISQ. And what we're going to do that is really interesting, from a standpoint of using Osstell's technology. I hope you will appreciate how we put together this program, because when you leave here and you get a button like this about do you ISQ, hopefully you'll understand what that means very, very clearly by the end of our session. And so when we start to look at the positions of the tooth and the bone, we also have to be able to understand the thickness of the cortical plates, the density of the bone, and all of this is something that we can diagnose preoperatively when we're dealing with three-dimensional imaging technology. So I've kind of dedicated my career in the last more than 30 years. I started with CT in 1985. We don't have a true scientific assessment about the quality of that bone. Even with cone beam CT, you can look at it, it may look dense, but it's the feel that counts. And when that implant goes in, you want to be able to measure whether it's stable or not. So when we're looking here, you can see that your assistant or yourself, whoever's doing this, you can go in, you can click on a tooth. You can actually input a tremendous amount of data about the manufacturer of the implant, the diameter and the length of the implant. The only thing that's still in common is the probe. And this probe, of course, is what gives us the information and bounces that resonance frequency off of the smart peg that's attached to the implant. And so we can see it here, and we're measuring the smart peg versus the probe, and we'll come up with a value. And there are some subjective concepts in this scale. In other words, if you were doing one single implant, to me, the stability quotient needs to be at a much higher threshold than if you're doing 4 or 5 implants and splinting them together.